You're listening to the Everyday Legends podcast, the show that is dedicated to helping everyday men build legendary relationships with yourself, your partner, and your world. I'm your host, Mike Campbell, and the aim of this podcast is simple: to help you navigate life with more clarity, more confidence, and purpose-driven action, with plenty of stories, a load of lessons, and some loving straight talk. So let's get started. Welcome to another episode of the Everyday Legends podcast. Today I'm bringing you a punchy solo episode where we're going to explore confidence. This is something that I see so many men tear themselves into pieces, turn themselves into knots, and whatever else you want to add in there. I need more confidence. I've got to have more confidence. And it's one of the things that I see as perhaps one of the more common, let's call it desires, aims, goals for men when they approach this work of personal development, potentially when they approach me or men who work like me and do stuff like me. This desire for, I want more confidence. I want to be more confident. I want to feel more confident. I just need to find even some more confidence. And it makes total sense based on your current level of awareness, where you are right now. But what we're going to explore in this is how actually I think the search for confidence is misguided and fruitless often. And we've been sold a little bit of a misnomer there, that confidence is this thing that you're born with or you'll wake up with one day. Some people are confident, some people aren't. And we're going to explore the question that I think is making it a spin to nowhere. The question being, how do I get more confidence? Or how do I find more confidence? How do I be more confident? Insert your own specific words or version in there. But the general question that speaks to, how do I get more confidence? How do I find confidence? How do I build confidence? Is, I'm going to say incorrect. It's not serving you. We're going to explore that. But before we dive into it, as you know, these podcasts are for you. My ask is that wherever you get your podcast, click like, subscribe, download, all those things, add to notifications, and also share this with a man you think could benefit from it and you will think enjoy it. Beyond that, if you have questions that come out of this, I suggest writing them down, and then feel free to contact me. Ask me questions. This is, depending on when you listen to this, but based on releasing it, the Christmas season. And so I give you this bit of loving straight talk and some different perspective on confidence. So here we go, into the show. How do I build confidence? Let's look at why that is a terrible question. A terrible question. And if you're someone who has asked that, then you might want to stick around. And I'm going to give you a much better question to ask. How do I build confidence? By default is looking for strategy. Strategy. How do I build confidence? What you're going to find on the internet is a buttload of things. If simply asking that question and gathering a bunch of strategies was the way to actually build confidence, you'd be confident by now. You wouldn't still be searching for better ways to build confidence. It's not about the strategy, bro. The strategy is not enough. Going through different people's emails, going through different websites, watching a bunch of different YouTube videos on strategies to build confidence and on strategies that confident dudes use, and walking through rooms with posture and all this kind of shit to affect your testosterone and get an injection straight to your balls and into your brain. It's flimsy, it's fleeting, it's like a band-aid on a gangrenous leg. Strategy isn't enough. The question that you want to be asking is this: why am I not confident to begin with? Why do I keep believing that I'm not confident? Why do I keep telling myself that I'm not confident? This, like many other things, is a great example of why strategy isn't enough. It's important, it can be very effective, but when the foundation is flimsy, when the belief systems don't allow us to actually implement the strategy doesn't work. So let me give you a really quick example of somewhere very different. Health and fitness. It's a pretty easy assumption that most people want to be fit and healthy, right? So if I keep asking, how do I get fit and healthy? How do I lose weight? How do I build confidence? Is the same question. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find strategy. Guess what? There's no shortage of strategy on how to get fit and healthy. And you know the answer. Everyone knows the fucking answer to that. Exercise regularly, eat well, plenty of vegetables, watch the overall amount that you eat relative to how much you output, get plenty of rest. Yes, there's a bunch of specifics in there, but that's the gist of it. Everyone knows what to do. So why don't they do it? Why don't they get fit and healthy? Why don't they do the strategy? That's the question that needs to be asked. And so when it comes to your confidence, if you keep asking the question, how do I build confidence? Trust me, it's never going to build you confidence. It doesn't matter what those strategies are. The question that you need to ask yourself, brother, is why am I not confident? Now, that doesn't give you an automatic answer, does it? That means you have to do work. That means you have to dig. That means you have to get curious. That means you have to lift under the lid and face all the shit that you do not face. What things you're properly afraid of. If I go and speak to that woman over there, she might reject me. I'm terrified of that. Okay, but what are you actually terrified of? That rejection would mean that you're not wanted, that you're not lovable, that you're what? You've got to dig. Simply looking for building confidence strategies is masturbation at its worst. It's not going to get you anything. So, ask better questions. Why am I not confident? And then take a curious angle to digging where that takes you. And if you need support, if you need better questions provided to you, if you need guidance, if you need to be challenged into both understanding why you're not confident, how to change the story that you have about your confidence, and then implementing aligned strategies that allow you to take action towards challenging and uncomfortable things, even though you don't feel confident, that's where support comes in. Ask me how we can do that. I've got plenty of options for you. Starting right now with this. The story that you have around confidence is where we want to begin. What is the story that you have around confidence? And if you're asking, what do you mean by that, Mike? Well, when you think of your confidence, what comes to mind? What words? What sentence? What narrative? What dialogue? What have you been telling yourself over and over about your confidence? It could be, I'm just not that confident. It could be, I'm not confident in fill in the blank. It could be, I just need to find more confidence. What is the story that you have? So that's probably the first level of your confidence story. And then our aim is to dig and go beneath it, as we've discussed. So what's beneath that? And how you can potentially get there is what comes next. So if your confidence story is something like, I'm just not that confident. Or it might be something specific. I'm just not that confident talking to women. Because if I do, what? Fill in the blank. I'm afraid that I'll be rejected. I am afraid that I'll look stupid. Whatever comes next. And I've given you some examples there in terms of the question. The question to get to the next point might differ depending on you and your context. I can't run through infinite options. What is this around? Why do I not feel confident? What am I actually afraid of? That question that we looked at earlier. When you can get to this depth, we can start to really see what's going on. But we're getting now potentially two stories that I have around confidence. So then we can start to look at, okay, so where did this story come from? Was this because some incident happened and then I felt awful and I was embarrassed, or I was a failure or whatever, and I got feedback from someone? I was picked on, I was made a pariah, my dad told me I wasn't good enough, he never said he was proud of me, he just walked away. What was it? Where did it come from? Was it someone else's voice? Whose voice is really running that confidence story that you have? And then ultimately, what sits beneath it? What sits beneath your confidence story? Because that is where our answers lie. When we want to skip forward to building more confidence, we need to see what sits at the base of it. So here's one in many examples we could run through. Let's say you're married or you're in a relationship and the sex has dried up a bit and you don't feel confident approaching your partner for sex. Put your hand up if that's you, which could look like actually putting your hand up, or send me a message and let me know. Why? Why do you not feel confident approaching your partner for sex? Have you actually asked yourself that? Maybe you haven't. Maybe that's already indicative of why you're stuck in the loop, and that you have a story that you don't feel confident. But I would put to you, that's the thing with your confidence story. It's a story in the way. So if we look at that example, it's probably something more like, I'm terrified that she'll reject me. That's worth looking at, don't you think? It's not that you don't feel confident, it's that you're terrified of being rejected by her. You can see how they might feel like the same sentence, they're different. You have the confidence, it's in you. Your fear of being rejected is the thing that is the giant beast at your door that you're terrified to even approach. So you fucking run and hide. And then it looks like you don't feel confident. You feel fear of being rejected, is what you feel. Now that fear of rejection, if you're single, you might be listening to this example going, wait, what? How can you fear rejection from your partner if you haven't been in a deep or long-term or serious relationship before? And that might be hard to understand. But we will fear rejection, and this is potentially where you fear rejection is cock-blocking your entire life, sidebar. But in our relationships, we will fear rejection by the person that we are most connected to, because rejection from the person that I am invested the most in carries the most weight. If some person that I just met on the street rejects me, which of course doesn't mean in a relationship sense, but rejects in some way, I ask them for help and they say, no, get the fuck out of here. It's a form of rejection. Then it might sting. And by the way, again, that's work to work on, but it doesn't carry as much to it, as much weight as someone that I am so invested in, that I'm sharing my life with. That potential rejection, that hits hard. That's where that fear of rejection can come in. So we get to look at that. So I'm not confident approaching my partner for sex. Actually, I'm terrified of them rejecting me. So what is that rejection about, really? That's the question. What sits beneath the story? We've got to keep digging. So maybe it's that if my partner rejects me when I approach them for sex, to me, it means that there's something wrong with me, or that I'm not attractive, or they're not attracted to me. Maybe it means that she doesn't want me. Maybe it means I'm not lovable, or I'm not good enough. Now also, let's be clear, and if you haven't heard any of my content before, then this might be important to stipulate, but a good reminder. It doesn't mean those things. It's that you're making it mean those things. That's the clincher to this whole depth digging confidence story stuff. Again, we're touching on this rejection example. Could be anything, the dig. I would be making her rejecting me mean that she doesn't want me. If she rejects me, I'd be making it mean that I'm not attractive, or that she's not attracted to me, which of course could be fact. Find it out. But without having the conversation, it's all fear-based creation of story. I would be making it mean that I'm not lovable. See how that's confronting to own that, but it's also the most accurate thing you can do because it's what you're doing. So, and there could be, fill in the blank, any number of other possibilities there. The point being, we're starting to get to what's really going on when all we do is just lump this, I'm not confident to approach my partner for sex, again, fill in the blank, whatever your example is, as our reality. And it's not that, it's the fear of rejection, which is actually a fear of her not wanting me, not being wanted, the fear of being left, abandoned, the fear of being alone. Oh, these things are what dictate things. You can see how that results in this symptom of me not feeling confident. So we've got to get to the depth of things if we're to truly impact our confidence. And by the way, all those examples, you can see, not being lovable, not being attractive, she doesn't want me, we make that mean something about our worthiness. And so that is our belonging. That impacts us so hard that we don't act. Of course, I'm not going to act on the approaching her for sex in this example, because I'm terrified of finding out that I don't belong, that someone doesn't want me, that I'm not wanted. And so the symptom is I don't feel or I don't have confidence. But that's the symptom. We can't keep treating the symptom. We've got to get to the cause so the symptom changes, so the results change. But here's my point. That symptomatic belief that I don't have confidence or I don't feel confidence is actually, as discussed, a fucking story. Because this is what I would put to you. You do have confidence. Confidence is accessible to you in any moment if you choose to get out of the way with the story you have about it. You could ask your partner for sex now, despite feeling a lot of fear that they might reject you. You could accept that they could reject you and see what happens in your body. Anyone can be confident in any moment if they choose to act despite their fear. You can act with confidence, which is to say you can act and feel terrified if you choose that that's what the action requires of you, not feeling over the moon about it. This is what confidence is half the time. Not something that you feel, although that can help, but the action. Being confident is more in the doing than the being half the time. Do it. Which brings me to my next offering to you on confidence. Confidence comes when I build competence. Where a lot of men are falling down is the expectation of self. That I'm not confident in X. I want to be confident in X. But because I suck at it, or I fear sucking at it, or I fear not getting it right, or I fear being wrong, or I fear looking like an idiot, I don't want to start. But not starting is what keeps you sucking, i.e. incompetent. And when we are incompetent, we will generally lack confidence, because confidence is a byproduct of being competent. And I would put it to you that you are confident in one area of your life, somewhere. Reflect on that. What is that thing? And I would also put it to you that you are competent in that thing. It's the things that you are not confident in, quote unquote. Remember, it's the story. You are not competent in. And so one of the fundamental principles for building confidence is to suck. Be a beginner and build competence, which means you've got to check your expectations that you have on yourself. What are you expecting? That you need to be an expert at something the first time you try it? Sit the fuck down and be a beginner. Practice. Be patient with yourself. Be consistent. Allow yourself to be in the journey of improvement. Let go of attachment to having to be amazing, look amazing, to not being judged for being wrong, incompetent, not good, being an idiot, all that kind of shit. And be okay with progressing through consistent applied action. And in that, you can be more confident as you become more competent. Because here's one of the things that is keeping so many men stuck in a spin of nothingness, of fear and confidence stories. Fear of looking shit, fear of being an idiot, fear of looking like you don't know, fear of not being competent, fear of incompetence, stops us becoming competent. Think about that for a moment. Press back 15 seconds if you need to and listen to it again. Fear of being incompetent, or looking incompetent, more specifically, stops us becoming competent because we don't act. Our confidence story gets in the way. So let me reinforce all of the points previously spoken. So here is my invitation to you this holiday season. Now, depending on when you're listening to this, you might not be listening to this in the Christmas period. That's fine. This still applies. Number 1, sit down and select 3 things that you don't feel confident in and do them. Fucking do them. Embrace that discomfort. Embrace that looking like an idiot potential. Anything. It doesn't need to be the relationship or the asking your partner for sex thing. It could be, you know what? I'm not a confident drawer. I'm not confident in my ability to draw. So sit the fuck down and do some drawing. It could be conversing and small talk. Well, start. Do it. Talk to people. Start conversations. The key here, again, let go of attachment to the outcome and what you think it needs to look like or what you want it to, and be okay with the practice of it. If the aim is to converse, not to converse like an expert, it becomes easier to do. It could be singing. You're not a confident singer, so fucking sing. And here is what you will carry with that. The aim is to be in it, not the judge of it. Observe it. Observe what you feel, observe what you're doing, observe how you're thinking. And so that's sitting down and thinking and selecting 3 things. The second invitation to you is to be open to opportunities when you don't feel confident, right? When that awkward discomfort feeling comes in and you're presented with the opportunity to act or to hide. So first of all, you've got to be open to those moments, right? You've got to pay attention, you've got to be present. And then the next point is to act on those. Act. Do the thing. Say the thing instead of keeping it and swallowing it down. Speak your truth, whatever the fuck it is. If it is conversing with someone, remember the rules for conversing: kindness, respect, compassion for you and the other. And then journal on these things as the observer of your experience, not the judge of it. Listen to this back again if you need to. Reach out to me on social media or email and let me know how you go. And then, wait for it, set yourself an aim to do this, not perfectly, but consistently, for the entirety of 2021, or whenever you're listening to this for the next 12 months. Set yourself an aim to do this for the length of 2021. Let me know then how confident you feel. And now I invite you to sit and think and reflect and feel. The idea of what I just put to you, practicing something for a year, what just popped up for you? What thought? What resistance? What feeling? Because this is the major point that I actually want to make. If the idea of setting yourself that size of a task scares you into inaction, into fuck it, turn off this podcast and go find a quick fix confidence solution somewhere else on the internet, that is your exact fucking problem, bro. You're wanting to be confident without being willing to apply yourself to breaking all your old stories and less than competent behaviors. Sit and think about that for a moment. Chasing the quick fix option to confidence won't work. You have to work at it. And so if I offer you a simple task, you're like, I can do that. And then I say, do it for a year. And you say, I can't do that. Then it's no wonder you don't feel confident. It's no wonder the same shit spins time and time again. So you can make 2021 the same old shit and set it up that 22 is as well. Same old shit, same old story, different Google search, basically the same results. Or you can choose to fucking do something about it. Apply yourself consistently, messy, imperfect action, build competence, and allow yourself to dig into that confidence story, what sits at the base of it. Because if it involves your worthiness, nothing will change until you change that belief. And if figuring out, like, how do you do this? What do I even do? Because I want this, Mike. I want confidence, and I know that just changing the strategy isn't working for me, and I know I have stories that continually spin in the background, but I can't seem to overcome them. I can't seem to do the things I want to do. I can't seem to do the things I know I need to do, I should do. If you want a boost, if you want a shortcut, if you want answers, real answers, someone in your corner helping you with this, then this is everything we do and so much more in the Everyday Legends Academy. We'll go well beyond your confidence story and into all the stories that you have running beneath the surface, the beliefs that you hold about yourself and the world around you, about your place in the world, about your identity, about who you are, about your worthiness, about if you deserve love and belonging, and everything that is holding you back from being who you can be and creating the life that you really want to create. That is what we explore in the Everyday Legends Academy. We have 3 main pillars that we work on. The first one is uncovering your origin story. It's really about figuring out who are you and why. Why have you got to this place? The second one is creating your legendary journey. And this is about figuring out the man that you want to be. And then the third pillar is about becoming that legend. It's all about purpose-driven action, becoming that man. If you want to give yourself the greatest gift that you can for 2021 and beyond, then I would put it to you, the Everyday Legends Academy is the gift. Not only do you get to enter into the community with amazing content written by me, created by me, and coaching led by me, but my 2 other powerful coaches, you get to come into a community of men just like you. That when we break past that fear of, what if these guys judge me and think ill of me and think I'm weak and stupid and not capable, and we all just can get on with it, it becomes this thing that we didn't know we were missing until we get it. A group of dudes in your corner supporting you, helping you, challenging you, holding you accountable to ensure that you do the work and the results come. 2021 can be a monumental year for you if you want to change not only this confidence story, but all of the ineffective bullshit stories that you have running beneath the surface. We have final spots open for the next intake of the Everyday Legends Academy. Of course, depending on when you're listening to this, but if you are listening to this in the new year, then hit me ASAP. Go to my website, wherever you're listening to this, make sure you hit the show notes. We will have links where you can get access to a strategy initial call with me. What that means is we're going to get on the phone, we're going to talk about you and figure out what's going on for you. I need to understand, hey, can I help this guy? What's going on for him? Can I help him? And that's the first step. It's a free call, there's no obligation. That is a fact-finding mission so we can figure out what we have, this full and remarkable solution, does it fit you? If it can, we can explore after that. But let's start with a conversation and let's figure out if one of these extremely limited spots in the next Everyday Legends Academy is perfect for you. Beyond that, please do something with this content. This is about confidence, this is about action, this is about competency. Do not just listen to this and then move on to the next podcast, move on to the next piece of content, double tap the next social media post. Do something with this information, bro. That's the fucking point. So here's where you can start. 1, reach out to me about the Everyday Legends Academy. 2, if you want to dive into something really, really simple that you can get into right now and sink your teeth into, then you can explore on my website the Next Level Confidence Code. That's a comprehensive do-at-home by yourself 5-week course. And then reach out to me. Tell me, what are you taking away from this podcast? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to put into action? I would love to hear from as many guys as possible what you're doing with this content. So tag me in on social media that you're listening to this. And as always, click like, subscribe, download. If you haven't yet, please visit Apple Podcasts and leave me a rating and a review. Write whatever you want. Give me that feedback. Let me know how this is impacting you, how it's challenging you, how you're enjoying it, what you're getting from it, what you're going to do with it. 2021 is here. Let's make this a year where you don't have to be dragging your feet to the end of it like every year. Can't wait for this year to end. 2021 is yours to grab by the balls. And if you want someone strong, mighty, powerful, challenging, loving in your corner, then reach out. Until next time, remember, keep building that legendary integrity. You've been listening to the Everyday Legends podcast, the show dedicated to helping everyday men build legendary relationships with yourself, with your partners, and in your world. If you have got something from this podcast, please share it with someone that you think could benefit from it, and please visit your home for podcasts. Like us, subscribe to us, leave us a review. Your feedback is phenomenal in getting this in front of more eyes and ears. Until next time, I'm Mike Campbell, and remember to build that legendary integrity.